I was looking for another project to run on this BobsCNC Revolution rotary axis machine, and this time I was looking for something that was really going to put it through its paces and show the capabilities of this machine. So I got on Thingiverse and I got to looking around, and of course there's thousands and thousands of models on that website, but I found one that I thought might be a good example to run on this machine, and it would really show what this machine can do. And I found this STL 3D model of a Jack Daniels bottle, and what I really liked about this is it has not only round parts, but it also kind of has some squared off parts, and it has a lot of engraved text on three sides. I pulled this STL model into my VCarve Pro software, and within just a few minutes I had several toolpaths done where I could run this on the Bob's Revolution machine. I started out and created the rounding toolpath, and I did that because what you see in the video here started out as a square blank about 12 inches long. It was I had a board of walnut that was about 1 3/4 inches thick, so I cut a couple of pieces and laminated them together to make a 3.5 by 3.5 by 12 inch square blank, and that's what I'm using to run this. So I did the rounding toolpath using a 1/4 inch end mill, and then I also used that 1/4 inch end mill to make the little pocket cuts on each end like you see in the Vectric video right there. And then it also used the 1/4 inch end mill to do the roughing toolpath. And this was very interesting to watch, because when you think about it, it started out as a square blank, and then it rounded it over into a round blank, and now as it's roughing in the shape of the bottle, the main part of the bottle is kind of square, so it's having to turn that back into a square, which is kind of different. Once the roughing toolpaths were complete, I put in a 1/8 inch tapered ball nose bit that has a 16 inch radius tip on it, and that's usually all I use when I do 3D carvings and things on the rotary axis. But because of this particular project had a lot of text, I just really didn't get all the detail that I wanted. It would put the text in there, but only the larger text was you'd be able to read it. The smaller text just was just didn't get the detail with it. So I figured that I was going to have to run a second finishing pass, but because these tool paths are really long, because this is kind of a big project, I decided I would put the little tiny bit in, and it would be used just to do the three sides where the text. And I did that by just drawing a vector in VCarve Pro, and then told it to just engrave just inside that vector, so it just finished up the text, and it came out really nice. Okay, now you can see that the router is only moving back and forth across the part where the text is, and you can see that I have my real small tapered ball nose bit. This bit has a 1/32 diameter with a 1/64 radius tip, so it's very pointy, very detailed, and the step over pass was only about just a shade over 1/1000th of an inch. So this particular tool path, even though it's only doing the part which would be the label or the text part around the bottle, still took about 8 hours and 3 minutes. So it was the longest of all the tool paths by a long ways. But if you look close, you can see here as the bottle spins around that you can actually read the text now that it's got all that detail. Just to give you an idea how long this total project took, the rounding tool path, which is, well, like I said, it took it from a 3.5 by 3.5 square by 12 inch long, and made it into a 3.5-inch diameter cylinder. That tool path took 1 hour and 7 minutes. The two pockets that I put on the end was right at 1 hour. Basically, I think it was 59 minutes. The roughing pass with the 1/4-inch end mill, roughing out the bottle shape, was 4 hours and 43 minutes. The finishing pass with the big bit was 3 hours and 24 minutes. And then this one that you're watching right now with a little tiny bit that provided all the detail, it was 8 hours and 3 minutes. So you add that all up, I was probably a little over 18 hours over the course of about 3 days, where I would just come out here, fire the thing up, and go back in the house. I left my camera tripod set up right in front of this thing, and I would tell my Alexa to set an alarm for about every 30 minutes, and I would come out and just shoot about 3 minutes of video, turn the camera back off, then go back in the house and set another alarm. I didn't stand out here and babysit this thing. I had plenty of other things to do, but most of the time I was close enough that I could hear it. And if I was in the office back here, I had it on a security camera so I could watch it too. So, but I got to really give a big shout out to this BobsCNC, because this thing really, just performed flawless. It didn't miss a beat. I've got some glamour shots coming up at the end here, and for the finish, I just rubbed on some Mahoney's walnut oil. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, and make sure you hit the little bell so you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video and when I'm going live. But until the next one, thank you very much for watching.